What is up, everyone? The roaming cyclist here, coach and owner of TRC Performance Coaching. I've been getting some requests on, race week lead up, what's in my race bag, and those sorts of things. So we're gonna go through that in this week's episode. So as far as race week is concerned, I'll typically program for myself mostly an aerobic week of short sessions. I will throw a couple real short, intense sessions in there at threshold or just above, not for long though. We're not trying to add any more fatigue to the legs. We're trying to find the balance to lower your fatigue level and increase your form. You're gonna maintain fitness. You're not gonna lose fitness in a week. Even if you shut it down for a whole week, you're not gonna lose any appreciable fitness in a week. You start to detrain, I would say beyond, a couple weeks. Some could be faster, but so in that week, we're trying to keep the legs spinning, keep the systems primed. When it comes to race day, we want our bodies to know what it needs to do. Hopefully you've done a training cycle leading into the race, so your body is ready. My training cycles are typically pretty standard as far as the breakdown. I'll go 3 weeks. I do undulating training, so it keeps the body on a constant adaptation. In my opinion, there are other opinions on that matter. My body does well and does better, I have found, with undulating training. I have been in a regular periodized program where you crescendo and then taper into the race. My body does not work that well. Can I train someone in that cycle? Yes. My plans are meant to get you in the best shape and then to get you ready for the best group ride, race, whatever it is, time trial, cross country, enduro. As you can see from my videos, I go into all those worlds early in my season. I just did a cross country race this past weekend. I was very fit. I was climbing very well, and that is my specialty. But you could tell out there, those folks that you can tell when someone's not in a regular training plan. Now you can go on Zwift and you can run through some of their training plans and their workouts, and those are great. But what you're missing in that is me, or really me as a coach, to tell you or to dial you back if it needs to be dialed back, or increase it if we're noticing that you're not going up on your performance chart. I think that's the biggest detriment. I see a lot of folks asking questions in message boards and things like that on what they should do. I'll answer them sometimes, but really, if you have those kind of questions and if you really truly want to improve, hire me as a coach. That's all. That's the only plug I'm going to say. I've proven it. The plan works in a racing environment. I was in a cross-country mountain bike environment. My workouts are tailored to that. They're tailored to time trial. They're tailored to road racing. And for me, for those other multi-sport athletes, I'm going to be tailoring it to duathletes. I can't quite do triathlon yet. Before I coach in a specific area, I like to go through the whole training. I'm licensed in USA Cycling. I'm licensed in USA Track and Field. So I have the knowledge to do those things. Does that mean I have all of the knowledge? No, it does not. But I'm constantly looking at new techniques. I'm constantly trying new techniques, and I'll do a video on my basement training area at some point, but it's a constant process of learning. If you have a coach that thinks they've learned everything, then there are some very experienced coaches and they are really good. But in my opinion, you can never stop learning. So I'll stop beating that horse. So to continue my racing week, you have the 3 weeks, and then depending on what level of race it is, there could be a taper, there could not be. It could just be part of my training program. So you got to look out. My whole season's planned, and I use Training Peaks. That's how I track my workouts. That's where I put my workouts. My workouts sync to the Zwift. They sync to my computer, so it's real seamless. But that's how I track, what I got. Right there, every time I log in, it's going to say, you have a race in 3 weeks, 12 weeks, or whatever. So they're all in there, all the way through September in the long Duathlon National Championships. And then the races I have chosen to get me ready for that is my A race. That is the I'm going all out, drag me across the finish line if I need to be kind of race. So my season is planned in that fashion. I wanted to test my anaerobic fitness, so I did the cross-country mountain bike. It's also in my hometown. So as the only coach here in Stafford of this nature, I felt obliged to go do that. I'm also a sponsored Hammer athlete, and it's a sponsored Hammer event. So I went out and did that. Great event, really fast, single track, and all those things. I've already done a video on my post-race, but they did a really good job in getting that course ready. And, there were some things with my bike that I didn't like. So I, in my usual fashion, went and got the better one. And so I'm really excited to get that out over the weekend, and I'll be doing more videos. Why don't you drop a comment below on what does your training plan look like? How do you prepare for a race? Let me know. If you have questions on how, or you want feedback, also drop those comments. If you like this kind of stuff, give your video a like, or your video, it's mine, not yours. And kind of let me know what you're looking for. I'm not gonna go through, but I love teaching. So if I can help you, understand why you need me as a coach, then I can do that, or I can take a look. You can schedule a 30-minute free call with me as well. I'm the only coach, obviously, in my business. I may expand further. I'm also expanding the racing team aspect. You see my logo, the TRC Endurance Racing. And I do have a couple interested folks in that. And then once we fill that team, I'll register it with USA Cycling. And who knows, you may see me running my own race here in Stafford, Virginia. I love racing. I love training to race. It's a passion. And I love seeing what physiologically the body can do when you apply different training stimuluses to it. Sometimes it's too hard and you're like, oh, this is not the day for that. So you dial it back or whatever. But for the most part, I'm green in my performance chart, compliant, not always. I don't listen to myself. I'm a very poor student of myself. It is what it is. I'm stubborn as a self-coached and knowledgeable athlete for a lot of years. So day prior to the race, we're going to do a real short session. It's going to be a quick warm-up, and then we're going to progress through the power zones, and then we're going to cut it out. There may be some 15-second bursts in there, just to fire the legs. And then we're cutting it off, and typically that workout will occur real early the day prior. So then the rest of the day I'll be in the compression sleeves. I may walk around to stay loose depending on where I'm at. If I'm at a race in the motorhome, I'll just chill around the campground. But I'm still a father. I'm still a husband. So you can't just lay around all day, so I got to go do stuff with the kids and all that sort of thing. But it won't be anything. I'll be mindful of what my job to do the next day. A lot of the Friday before is thinking about my racing tactics, where I want to take chances, where I'm not going to take chances, where I'm going to sit in, where I'm going to flex a little bit. If I'm out on a location and they allow us to pre-ride the race course, I'll do that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday is the absolute last, and I wouldn't even say Wednesday is going to be a real tough workout. Monday and Tuesday, I'll push it a little bit. But when you get in that 48-hour window, you don't want to get crazy. You do want to keep it primed, keep it moving, so the systems know what they're needing to do. So, but I'll go out there. I'll do some reconnaissance of the course. I'll figure out where I'm going to take chances. If it's a cross country, I'll session some of that. Sessioning. But just so I know, I get to feel like different speeds if I'm coming downhill, what that's going to feel like. Can I come down full speed and take that chance and then be able to take that, that 90-degree turn down into some S turns or single track or whatever, if that's raised. If it's a time trial, are there turns? Am I going to have to come out of my aero position? Can I stay aero the whole time and just crank it? If it's a road race, am I going to have stoplights, stop signs? What am I going to have on the course that's going to potentially slow me down? Those are the things that we're going to be, looking for. And if I'm out there supporting you, which I do, if you're racing for me, and you need me at a race, and I'm available, I will come out and I will help you do those things. I only take a certain amount of clients, so I'm able to do that. So I'll come out, I'll run you through it. We'll go run through, those workouts, and then, then you just you visualize it the day before, and then the morning of, you get to the race early enough. I have a feedback trainer. I'll throw the bike front tire, connects to those if you've seen them. It's a progressive trainer. Not zero resistance. I don't like that. And so I want to get about 400 kilojoules on the legs. Get them warmed up. If it's a time trial, that's about right for that. And then in that, you're just progress through the zones. Don't get crazy. But a 40 minute workout, if you're in a good fitness position, that shouldn't even really move the needle. I know a lot of people are apprehensive in doing that, but you got to get out there. You can't go to a start line and your system is not warmed up, because you will blow the tires off, and it'll take, by time you recover back down, the race you're gone. Okay, so I highly recommend you warm up at least 30 minutes. It could be, if you're just wanting to spin, then just spin, but get it down and get warmed up before a race. Highly recommend it. And that just gets you ready to know. It's, a lot of people, when you Zwift race, the key tactic is when you're right before it's counting down, you want to be at race speed, right? That could hurt a lot of people if you're not prepared. But like when I start a race, I'm probably, almost 600 watts. And then after about 2 minutes, it settles down on what the power or the pace is going to be for the race. But if you notice, if you don't do that, the race is gone already. That's how it is in real life. So make sure that you're warmed up. If it's a large road race or a rolling time trial, you're going to have a little more time, to do that. And so make sure you do it. And then obviously the day of the race, like I said, 30-minute warm up, and then we're racing. If it's a rolling start, then that's easy. They give you the rolling start window. You go out there. I prefer to start right at right when my group starts, so that I, can get through it and hopefully come out first. And then after the race, I come home, I put my legs in the compression sleeves. I use Speedhound Endurance, and you just kind of refuel the body, get it ready. You should be putting something right after a race. I use Hammer Nutrition Recoverite and Vegan Tissue Rejuvenator right after a race. it replenishes my protein and carbohydrates, and then the tissue rejuvenator helps with my inflammation and recovery. I typically do not like taking over-the-counter medications. I am vegan, so you know, I try to keep things as natural as possible. So that's pretty much my race week. Now, as far as like my pre-race ritual bag, I use a Pedal Industries race day bag. It makes things really simple to get things ready, right? You know, they've got everything labeled. I got my helmet in this bag part. I got my shoes, still dirty from the race. You know, and then you go down the checklist, right? You got, do I have my nutrition, my lights, towels, tools, change of clothes after the race, and you know, that's partly in there. You know, the second compartment, and these are big waterproof kind of like compartments. You know, the eyewear, the gloves, the heart rate monitor, the computer, you know, do I need race pins? Do I need zip ties? Do I need my nail clippers to clip the ends of the zip ties, which I forgot, and it drove me nuts. And so, you know, you don't have to really think about it. And then, you know, the third one is your jersey. What are you wearing? I'll go to a race already wearing it, and I'll have like clothes over the top of it. But in this case, I brought a jersey and bib shorts in case I wanted to roll that way. I did not end up rolling that way. I went with my my custom, all my kits are custom with the Hammer Nutrition logos, the TRC Endurance Racing, and then the TRC Performance Coaching on the back, and then I'll have little Hammer logos all about me. And in that case, it was the 3/4 flow jersey that I had custom made, which is really comfortable. I'm having some made in short sleeve that don't have the Hammer logo on them, but have my brand logos on them. So those could be for sale in the near future. This shirt is for sale on my website now. This is one of my favorite shirts. Keeps things in perspective. The last pocket is going to be, you know, do I need a vest? Do I need a jacket? Arm, knee warmers. I needed leg warmers for the race, and I ended up getting too hot. I had to take the leg warmers off in the middle of the race. I left them where I could find them again. I did find them. I was wearing a long sleeve fleece underneath my 3/4 jersey. I still have not found that. I do not know where that went. It could be being worn by some animal. So if you see someone in a black fleece roaming around the woods in the Stafford area, that is mine, if it's on an animal. And then, you know, chamois cream, vital. If you need it, don't go out without it, because it's not gonna be good. And then, you know, everything's in there. You do that the night before, you know this is ready, you just grab it. You know, it's a backpack, so, you know, wear it like a backpack. When I get to the race, I get there early enough. I set up the chairs for my wife, because she, even though it is my business, she is still in charge. And then I'll set up the chairs for the kids. Depending on what it is, I'll set up my pop-up tent with the TRC Endurance Racing flag hanging from the back. Sometimes I'll take the Hammer flag and hang it, depending on what kind of things we're doing. And then I'll just set up my warm-up trainer, you know, 30 minutes prior to my start time. I'll start warming up. It'll transition into the start line, and then I will go. So there's not really a lot of time to you know, warm down or cool down or whatever it may be. So that's my race week. That's how I do my race bag. I'm also going to post. I went through it for TikTok. So if you're not following me on TikTok at the Roaming Cyclist, I get a lot of short videos on there with voiceovers. There's going to start being maybe some training after, like I just did an hour spin, and I was doing power intervals above threshold with progressive climbs. I love climbing. It's really a sickness. It's a sickness. I don't know if I love climbing as much as Phil Guyman, but I love climbing. It's fun for me. I love a challenge. the suffer, the bigger my smile, if that makes sense. So like a masochist. So, I just did that. My peak wattage was 475, just because I'm still in a recovery week. I took my second vaccine shot on Tuesday. It completely annihilated me for 2 days. I saw the Grim Reaper a couple times yesterday. I woke up this morning and I was back to 100%, which is great. I was able to perform that workout. No real strain with that wattage. We're talking over-unders, essentially 30 seconds at 475, followed by a first block, followed by a minute of a 175, and then, you do that, kind of a 4-step repeat on that. And then the second block, I went with 15 seconds at 475 and 45 seconds at 180. So shorten the rest, keep the wattage relatively the same. And then you're getting a good added benefit, less recovery, and then then you go into a climb, right? So you're doing what I train the way I feel like a race would go. So when in a race or a group ride, you're gonna have those where you're gonna have to bridge. So you're gonna have to increase the watts. Then you're gonna have to settle in and spin. And then you could go into a pace line, and then you're going to have to do the same things. But then you're going to have to hammer it up a hill. And so this helps your body know that it can handle those power peaks and recover. And then that's why we train, right? So, we hit it, our body recovers. Over the course of a race, it's not going to recover as much, but you get the picture. So that's what I just did, and then I did 30 minutes of just straight up, 220 watts, and for the full hour, I don't even know, I don't count mileage on Zwift, but it was like 21 miles in an hour or something. I think my normalized power was like, I have to look in the system, but somewhere around 260 maybe. It felt pretty good. And then we'll start cranking it up again on Monday. I'll go back into periodized training. And then, I'll post many videos on that, and then we'll start rolling to training camps here at the end of May, June, July, and all the way through September through the races. So if you want to know what's going on that road to the Long Duathlon Nationals, follow me here on my channel. Follow me at The Roaming Cyclist on Instagram and at The Roaming Cyclist on TikTok. And then you'll be up to date on what I'm doing, where I'm at. Maybe you'll come see me. Maybe I'll do group rides where I'm at. I mean, I like to keep things fun, so I think things could be much funner in a group than being out by yourself, looking a little crazy doing, I don't know, 30-30s or something. Like, what is this guy doing in the KOA? So let me know if you have coaching questions. All of my contact information is down below in the comments. My calendar has 3 open slots a day for consults or questions or whatever, what have you. And then on my website, you can see the plans and all that stuff. So I've rambled on long enough. I've been getting these questions in the area, so I figured I'd go through my little mentality. It's probably the same as most people, but I like to not be, you don't want to get to a race and have you ever had that moment where you're like, oh my God, I forgot my computer one time. And I was like, oh my God, like this is over. It's not, you just figure it out, right? And so, this kind of helps me get everything ready. I know it's ready. I don't have to stress about it because you're already going to be anxious race morning. And then you get to the race, everything's chill, we're all chill, life rips, and then we just go, right? So that's gonna be it for me. I am the Roaming Cyclist, and I am out.